Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to a dreary Wednesday here in Jackson, Ohio. And I think that's where we are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
That's where
good.
we are.
Yeah. Jackson, yet no, it is kind of blecky outside, little drizzle going on, but it's better than, I guess, ice or snow. So, we'll take it. But maybe pack your umbrellas with you this morning as it's like that icky, misty rain that just soaks you and it's kind of blacky out there. So, anywho, but that's okay because it's warm and sunny in here. And we have our friend from the indoor trade show that's coming up this coming weekend, right?
Yes.
All right. Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Norman Garringer, and like I was telling them on the radio, I'm currently the president of Sons of Liberty right now. And the Sons of Liberty are putting on our annual indoor trade fair this weekend, which is what I'm here for, to kind of advertise and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we're going to find out all about it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday we're there from 9 to 5. Sunday we're there from 9 to 3. And the cost for admission 12 and over is $5 to get in. And
that's a deal.
Yeah. And of course, Scanner's Cave also provides food and snacks there like that. So if you come, you can come and get something to eat and spend a day if you want to. So, and but as far as what the trade fair is, we open it up to 1890 for the trade fair only. So we'll have vendors selling goods and stuff from the years 1890 back. So it'll be guns, knives, pots, pans, candles, soaps. I think there's one lady talked about she was even going to bring some baked goods in and different things like that. So,
what were baked goods like in 1890?
Mostly like breads and stuff like that. But I mean, of course,
anything different than what we have today?
Yeah, they made pies and stuff like that too, but then they were usually made on a wood hearth or something like that.
Yeah.
How they were baked and you could put them in a Dutch oven and bake them that way and stuff. So, yeah, but yeah, so and of course that always adds an extra flavor to it, just be made on wood and the hearth and stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, but like I say, just a little bit of everything, glasswares, all kinds of stuff. So. So anything, and if you're just interested in history, period, and I know one lady, she usually has a large row of books and stuff for us. If you want to come down and pick up some books, learn anything on it, and interested in history, just stop and ask somebody. We're always ready to tell you everything and what to about the history too. The club itself, the Sons of Liberty, we're a pre-1840s club, so our time period and we deal with is mostly 1840 back. So, and as you can see in my dress is more right around the 1770s and stuff, the 18th century where I'm at. So.
Okay. And I think, Pete, are you going to snap a picture, Pete?
I was going to, yeah.
He's going to snap a picture.
We haven't had any colonial people in here for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not the norm.
Okay.
Normal Norman?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much normal.
So he's going to snap a picture. Okay. Very good. And you're not the normal person that we have in here every day.
Yeah.
We're looking anyway, which this is a lot of fun. We love having you here.
Yeah, not today I'm not, so yeah.
I'm assuming you don't wear that garb every day, right?
No, not every day.
Like you go to Walmart, you probably don't have that on, huh?
Well,
I mean, you could.
Now, if I was going to stop on the way back to pick up something on the way back, yeah, I'll wear it in there today. In fact, today I'm still trying to make up in mind what to do to kill a few hours today because I started taking piano lessons. And my lessons at 2:00. So once I leave here, I've got from then until 2 to kill some time, and I really don't want to drive all the way back home and then back to town again. So, so I may be in some place like that again before today's over. So.
I love that. So where are you taking piano lessons?
A girl by the name of Stephanie Stanley is where I'm taking them at.
Is it here in Jackson?
No, she's in Chillicothe.
Oh, in Chillicothe. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So have you played, like, you didn't do it as a kid, so you just started now?
Well,
or?
actually, I played piano as a kid, and probably was maybe 10 or 12 or something like that when I quit. And the reason why I stopped in, biggest reason is the lady she retired and moved to Florida. The lady we were taking lessons from.
Yeah?
Of course, this is 100 years ago. You know, I'm talking
Back in 1890?
Yeah, almost. I'm talking back in the 60s.
Yeah.
When this was all going on, 1960. That is, yeah.
Yeah, not 1860.
Yeah, but and then by that time I was in ready for the school band up there. Well, then I started taking drums in the school band, and that's where I played drums. In fact, I still play drums up till now.
Really?
Yeah,
That's exciting.
And then when I retired from the hospital, because I work at the Dean of Regional Medical Center, I retired from there. I decided to try to pick up the fiddle. So
Really?
yeah, so I've been playing that for a while now. So
how's that going?
I won't say I'm good, but yeah, I can play a lot. I mean, compared to where I started and where I'm at now, yeah.
So is there a difference between the fiddle and the violin?
Not really.
Just how you play it?
Yeah, the type of music on it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And actually, I play both. I mean, depends on what you want me to play at the time. I can play violin music or...
So like that violin, you'd think more classical music or something?
In fact, the girl that I'm taking lessons from now, I'm actually doing that online with a girl named Megan Fall. And she is a classical violinist. So,
really?
Yeah. So I get it mixed in there all around. I've always tried to do with the violin the same thing I did with drums. I never wanted to get locked into one type of music only. I wanted to be able to play anything. I wanted to sit down, I could play it.
Yeah.
So, and of course the drums I played in school, so I played concerts, symphonic bands there. And then once I started playing the set and got out of school, then of course I played all your regular rock country bands and all these
You're
different
gonna rock
things.
out, aren't you?
Yep. So, yeah, of course, at that time, I was like everybody that was back then in the 70s and stuff, I was going to be a rock musician, you know.
Of course.
I almost made it, but not quite.
I think that is awesome, though.
Yeah.
So is the piano like, is it like riding a bike? Did it come back to you pretty fast, or are you like, oh God, I can't remember any of this?
No, it's coming back pretty fast. Basically, the thing I'd forgotten was the left hand. And of course, you know, that's in the bass clef instead of the treble clef. And so I'd forgotten that, but it seemed to be coming back really easy. So
that's good. Yeah, I did piano lessons for like a year, and then I was like, yeah, I had other things. I was too busy.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little kid and I was too busy.
Of course,
but I wish I'd stuck with it.
Yeah. Of course, I guess we're getting off subject now, but
yeah, we'll get back to it.
Yeah,
we got plenty of time. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I will say besides the indoor trade fair, we do two events at Tanner Save, two outdoor events, and they're what they call a rendezvous, and
which is really cool, by the way.
Yeah,
that's really neat.
One's in the spring up for Memorial Day weekend, and the other one we have at the third weekend of October every year, and
so a spring and a fall.
Yeah, spring and fall.
That's cool. Are they both out at Cantor's Cave, or like across the street, right?
Well, they're when you go back to the main lodge. Okay, just turn the opposite way and go to the field.
Yeah, it's where all the tents and stuff are set up. You can't miss it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't miss it because it's where the white tents and stuff are.
Yeah, instead of turning left into Cantor's Cave, you look right, and there you are.
Yeah.
So same place that you've been in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So let's back up for a minute because we do have some time to chat with you today, if that's okay.
All right.
And let's talk about Sons of Liberty as a whole. Like, how did it get started, and you know, what are some of the things that I know you talked about the rendezvous, but you know, how did it all get started?
Well, basically, you know, of course, I know you remember Larry. He's come here. Larry and a couple of other people, like Sonny. Oh, shoot, it hadn't been that long since he passed, but I was trying to say. But anyway, it's all Crispin, Sonny Crispin, and a couple others up there all got together and decided to join it. And to start the Sons of Liberty, and they were outside of Beaver on a farm up there is where they used to have it at all the time.
How long ago was that they started this? Time flies, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been Associated Club for about 30 years, and they were going at that
Oh,
time.
it's been that long
Yeah.
ago. Okay.
So, in fact, this is our 27th year at Cantor's Cave, and so, well, maybe I've been with the club longer than that then, since this is 27th year, because, like I say, I've been at Beaver about 3 times. I camped there before we had to move, and then ended up migrating down to Cantor's Cave.
Yeah.
But and like I say, the club had been going on then. But how I kind of got into it is my first wife didn't think too much of this kind of stuff, so I got out of it for a while. So when we got divorced, I thought,
Oh, she's no fun.
yeah. So when we got divorced up there, I thought, I'm gonna go back to the stuff I used to like, and well, so I pulled up a newspaper ad one day and seen the advertisement in there for the where they get ready to have a rendezvous.
Really?
Yeah, and I told a friend of mine up there I got about it, so I talked him into it. So we decided to come down and check it out and see what it was, and he didn't stay, but I did. So I've been there ever since. So
I love that.
Yeah, but yeah, because I mean I thought the people were all friendly and liked him and stuff, and at that time I'd worked with a guy at a place called Cortec in Washington Courthouse. It's just a factory that make like pre-FRP truck side panels to make truck trailers, stuff out of. And but I'd worked with him in maintenance with him, and he was into this, and he'd always kind of talked about it too. So that's another reason I kind of learned about it a little bit. And I never thought anything about it when I went down there to camp that time. But when it went down like that, I was walking around the camp for a minute, and I heard somebody yell at me, and turned around, and there was Max.
No.
And,
Who knew?
yeah, so it was like, who knew? And I'm glad he was, because I'm totally green at this time, starting in this, and so he helped me out a lot. So then you get started, because we probably wouldn't have had a fire that weekend or anything if it hadn't been for Max helping us out.
Probably starved to death and
Yeah.
froze, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You would have had fun anyway.
Oh yeah, we still had fun, Of course, with him, he's the type of guy that when you went home from work in the day in the evenings, you had a headache, but it wasn't from stress or anything up there. It was for laughing all day.
He's that guy, huh?
Yeah, because he was always real comical. Yeah.
We all need some of those in our lives, don't we?
Yep. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But that's how I kind of come and got into the Sons of Liberty. Then was from there, and from then on, it wasn't too long after we got to Cantor's Cave that I became president then, and so I've had it. Most of those trade fair years, I've been the president. So I've about 27 years now. So
Wow.
yeah.
Lucky you.
I don't know. Sometimes I think I'd like to give it to somebody else. but so far nobody else has stepped up. Though.
I gotcha. So here you are again.
Yeah.
You know what I find always funny? It is like, Larry and I laughed about it a lot when he would come in, is the fact that I swear every year when you all have this trade fair, there's some kind of stupid weather thing that happens.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not kidding about that. Like,
yeah.
it's insane.
And in the beginning, it didn't seem to make that much difference. Now, I don't know where people are getting more skittish or something.
We're just all a bunch of wusses now, I think.
Something, but now all they have to do is talk about it on the news, and they don't come. So it used to be we could get a foot of snow and people showed up anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And because it's real
For
pretty
sure.
down there and with the snow on the ground.
So, and that's the thing that I was thinking about is the fact that no matter what is happening weather-wise, Cantor's Cave itself as an entity is worth the visit.
Yes, it is.
No matter what, if it's spring, if it's fall, if it's winter, doesn't matter. Cantor's Cave is absolutely gorgeous no matter what.
Yes.
And it's so fun to just like look around and see, the beauty that is out there. And then you have, whatever's going on, which is really cool too. Mm-hmm. But no, you guys I swear, if there's going to be a snowstorm, it's going to happen this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I promise.
In fact, I've got some more for I tell people. If you're waiting for snow, if I can, I'll get it for you. We'll just have the trade fair.
Yeah, just let us schedule this trade fair.
Yeah.
But no, so let's get back to that in the details for a moment. So, if somebody, I know you have a lot of return people and a lot of people that will, pack the kids in the car and whatever, because not only is it a really fun day, but it's also, a learning day. It's teaching
Yes.
the kids stuff.
Yeah.
And do you still have some kids things for them to do while the adults are walking around? I know sometimes you would have like a little kid area, but you don't have to because there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the vendors are there, like whether
Okay.
they will or not. I know
Because they have toys and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of vendors will make up like little wooden swords or wooden guns
Yep.
and different things like that, and toys like a miniature cannon games. They'll be like little like puzzle games and different things up there from the 18th.
Yep.
One lady, she comes and she has like these little cardboard dolls and stuff they can get and paint and put together and stuff.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, so
So they can get crafty.
yeah, they can get crafty. So yeah, there is things for kids to do there, and but yeah, like I say, a lot of it all varies on the vendor. So
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. So tell us, I know you have, oh my gosh, how many vendors do you have? A lot.
right now we're up to about 40 tables, so that's probably I want to say maybe around 30 vendors probably.
Yeah.
Because some get more than one table, some just get one table, and so it's if my better half was here, she can give you the exact number because she's the secretary.
That's
and she's
her
the one.
yeah,
she's the
that's
one
her
that's taking
jam.
care of all that part of it. So, actually, people don't realize that she's more the strength and runs the club more than I do because she's a secretary treasurer, so she's behind the scene and does all the numbers and all the paperwork and tries to keep me straight. So
That's probably a full-time job, isn't it?
oh yeah.
I can tell.
Especially the older I get. So
Just get more ornery, don't you?
yeah. Which is one reason I brought this paper today to make sure I read everything and don't get it wrong.
Right? Exactly. She'll just whip you when you get home if you don't tell all the good facts there.
Yep.
She'll be like,
yeah.
So, all right. So, what are some? I know you mentioned like some baked goods and things like that, but what are some of the like vendors that people will encounter when they come out to the trade show? And I think kids, 12 and under are free too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can bring the kids and have a great time.
Yeah. 12 and under is free up there, and of course
More than welcome to bring the kids.
yeah, anything people above that's $5. So.
Yeah.
But like I was telling on the radio, we have a guy by the name of Dave Burkett. He's actually a member of the club. He's a knife maker, and the Fire and Ice TV show on the History Channel. He's been on that, so
Cool.
he's good. He's good and actually good enough that he's been on there, and he makes really nice knives. But he'll be there with his knives, and for the life of me, I still can't think of the right fort name. It's the one down just across the river where the Mothman Festival and all that stuff is.
Point Pleasant?
Yeah, that's it. And but anyway, the fort that's there, they had a fire a while back that devastated one of their main buildings.
Okay.
So they're trying to rebuild that. So they're going to have a couple of tables there selling some of their wares. And they make some real nice, like what they call corn boilers, which is just a pots and cups and different things like that, plates.
Awesome.
And stuff. And she didn't give me a specific what she was bringing, but if they're selling what they used to sell in her gift shop, that's probably what she'll have.
Okay.
And that's some real nice stuff up there she'll be bringing too. So, and then we, just like I say, I need her for the list of the vendors, but but that's just two of the names I can think of we got coming. So,
do you have any like blacksmiths or any doing iron work or
Not actually demonstrating there. Like I said, there's plenty of people
but bringing
who
their stuff that they've made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I say, Dave, he's a blacksmith because that's how he makes these knives.
Yeah,
and forges them. But yeah, there'll be other people making other things. Pot, pot and spoons and pot and scrapers and stuff and all different things. Spatulas. That's what I was trying to think of. Spatulas and different things like that. Utensils that you use up there. But yeah, the people make that. Fire irons, different things.
Mm-hmm.
Liza,
very unique things.
Yeah.
Great gift ideas too.
Yeah. Now Liza, she's the log cabin shop up there. She's the one I was talking about. She'll have plenty of books plus gun parts and other things like that. She has there. If you want to try to build your own gun or flints and stuff like that to go with it. She usually has. I think she usually has a few toys and things like that too on her table too. But she'll be there and with her table. So
yeah, and you mentioned books. You mentioned the baked goods.
Yeah, of course.
Clothing.
Yeah,
is there going to be clothing?
Clothing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You can come buy clothing.
You can come look
then.
like Norm here.
Yeah. And we don't discount anymore for people coming in Perry dress, but you can come in Perry dress. So if you feel free, you can come because a lot of people coming from the public will be addressed when they come in too. And all the vendors will be dressed at the period, so you can come and look at that. But yeah, we have a lot of people with clothing and stuff, and
love that.
Whatever, yeah.
So the outfit that you have on right now, because I mean, just as we all wear different types of clothing in today's time, back in that time there were different types of clothing also, right? Depending on who you were or whatever. Am I correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
What would you be?
This would be pretty much just what you would see if you'd walking down the street and seeing a colonial person
on the daily.
Yeah, on the daily in the town, because they always wore pretty much the shirt, which is the most undergarment, and the people would wear, and they always had a vest or usually had a vest or waistcoat or some type on top there. And most of the time they wear a jacket over top of that. So usually it's like a three-piece outfit they have on. Of course, the knee breeches and stuff. It was a type of pants was pretty much in.
I would assume that's for, horseback riding and stuff, right?
Yeah. And I like the boots up there just for me, period, now, because I like the boots up there. But I've had people tell me that if I got the boots on, I should have a horse somewhere too. But
I mean, there's something to it.
Yeah. But
we've had lots of dogs in this studio, but never a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not against it. Are you guys against it? No, they're for it.
Yeah. Which a lot of people don't realize up there, but even in the 18th century, a horse was an expensive thing, and not everybody could afford a horse. So a lot of people walked on foot because they couldn't afford a horse. So
gotcha.
Even going from town to town traveling, they would walk because they couldn't afford the horse to start with.
Interesting.
Or the feed to feed it. And,
there you go.
So, yeah.
The horse is one thing. The maintenance of it's a whole other situation.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of people would use river travel or ferry boats, different things like that. Because that was cheaper than having a horse.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you didn't wear the boots that you have on, which would be like tall boots, what would you be wearing on your feet?
Well, typically the dress back in would have been, if you were dressed in this period, would have been just a low cut loafer type thing with head and fastened with a buckle or
kind of like what you think of pilgrim shoes,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or a lot of times. They would just tie it with a string. It'd be tied with a string instead of a buckle because the buckles are expensive too. So
sure.
if you can afford that, you just tied it with a string if you're poor. So, but then we also had log hunters back then. Who log hunters pretty much adopted the Indian dress. I mean, they would wear breechcloths, leggings, moccasins, and some kind of a hunter's shirt or something like that. They would wear. So they pretty much resemble an Indian dress as much as possible. And of course they were the ones that longer than most of the ones that were out in the woods, blazing the trails and stuff really. So
okay.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? To try to fit in, or
No, actually,
just comfortable?
Actually, because they didn't fit in with society, so they felt more comfortable out in the woods away from everybody.
I got you. No, that makes
yeah,
sense.
Yeah. So, but which is Boone and Daniel Boone and all of them up there. They
Yep.
were all long hunters.
Yeah,
so,
you think about what
Yeah.
what you would see in like a book of what they would wear.
Yep.
So those are the guys that were out blazing the trails, if you will, right?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, in fact, Boone was pretty much responsible for getting to Kentucky going. So yeah.
Did you know that we have a Boone Rock here in Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew that or not. Where allegedly did he just stand there, or?
Probably, as far as I know, he just stood there. I don't know exactly why, but yeah.
We do have a Boone Rock here
Yeah.
in Jackson, where Daniel Boone was,
Yeah.
allegedly.
And Canter's Cave itself had a lot of history there too, because in caves you can see where Indians and stuff used to stay in there and different things. So
Yeah, I mean, they utilized those to live
yeah,
and to stay safe, which is really cool.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of history out there.
yeah. This whole area has a lot of history to it,
For sure. So now, obviously, what you have on would be very warm. So in the summer, what would you be wearing?
the stuff would be pretty much the same setup, except it'd all be made out of linen or something like that. Something a lot lighter material. This is all wool.
Yeah,
wool
because
here. So.
you're looking pretty warm over there.
Yeah. Even when I was outside, I was perfectly comfortable. So
Yeah.
This and then my wool greatcoat on top of it. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
But so if somebody wants to come to the trade show and find, an outfit, there will be people there that can do
Yeah.
that for them, right?
Yeah, there'll be people there.
Are they all custom made, or can you just buy something off the rack?
You can buy stuff off the rack most of the time, but if there are some people there that can custom make stuff, so if you talk to the right people, they can get measurements or whatever and custom make you a clothing. So it's both the same way.
Did you design your outfit?
Actually, this coat that I've got on has kind of a story behind it, but so
We love stories.
So I sort of designed it.
Okay.
This material was originally I bought it off of a table because it was supposed to have been a great kilt. So I was buying my first great kilt. I thought I loved the color
What's
and
that?
stuff of it.
What?
It's Scottish wear. Scottish,
Like a kilt?
Yeah, but it originally you have what they call a wee kilt, and then you have great kilts. The great kilts pretty much is just 9 yards of wool that you wrap around yourself, throw a piece over your shoulder and stuff like that, so it's all one big piece. Where a wee kilt is just the ones like you see people wear now. It's like the skirt,
I got you. Okay.
and that's a wee kilt. And
Do you still wear nothing under either one of them? Isn't that the rumor?
yeah. and well, you sort of have up there because these shirts have a pretty long tail on them. So
okay. So you're okay then.
Yeah. So your shirt's kind of your undershirt. Yeah.
You got some added protection there.
Yeah. So you got that. But pretty much that's how you wear a kilt. It's pretty much regimental. So
that is true, huh?
Yeah. And,
That's funny. So you bought that material actually for a whole different outfit.
Yeah. It was supposed to have been a great kilt. Well, I got home, and of course, my wife and I are always really busy and stuff like that. So I took the guy at his word for it that it was 9 yards of wool. So I get home, started to fold it out on the bed, and of course 9 yards ought to more than cover a big bed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't.
Oh.
So then I got really kind of half mad and half sick in my stomach because I just spent all this money on this,
On this material that's now not big enough to do
and
what
of
I
course,
wanted.
Went back on Sunday, and this guy's done packed up and left. He's no place around.
Oh.
So I didn't have anybody to say, "Hey, buddy,"
You couldn't even yell at him, huh?
And I've never seen him since then. So what happened to him?
Well, there's probably a reason for that.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, well, okay. I can either stay mad, or else I can, like somebody says, you can take lemons or take lemons and make lemonade out of it,
Love
something
that,
like
yes.
that. Something. So I decided to do it. So I got a hold of a lady online who actually makes custom clothing. And part of the reason I got a hold of her because I'd seen some of her pictures of her coats and different things she'd made online, and asked her, told her I had this material. Could she turn it into a coat for me? And she said, yeah. So so I sent the material to her then, and she took it and turned it into this jacket.
That's so cool.
so
See, you made lemonade.
Yep. So that's how I got this jacket. So as far as I'm concerned, I'll probably never get rid of this jacket just because it has that special little story and history behind it. But
That is a funny story, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now.
yeah. Yeah. And like you say, up, I had to take all my measuring stuff and send all measuring stuff to her, and she done it. But yeah, and she's out of Pennsylvania, which I'd love to have her come down there trade fair, but that's why
Sure.
she don't, because it's just so far
Too
for her
far.
to drive. So
Yeah, I get
But,
that. So tell us about the hat. What's the deal like with that? The shape
This
and
is-
all that.
this is pretty much what everybody first thing you think about 18th century dress up, or this pops in everybody's head, the tricorn. You know, this is what everybody wears.
Is that what they call it, a tricorn?
Yeah, tricorn or a cocked hat, and one or the other. So, but it actually,
Okay, that makes sense.
other than being fashionable, they don't serve any real good purposes because they don't keep the weather off your head that great. They don't keep the sun out of your eyes really that good either.
No.
But it was just fashionable stuff. And then the biggest thing I is supposedly when you went inside, they fit under your arm nicer, so you could tuck them under and carry them around better. So
That makes sense.
So
So did
But-
you have that made, or did you? Is
no,
that something
no, I
you-
bought this from
It's got a pretty bow on the side of
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That's
Is
what
that
they,
normal?
Yeah, that's what they call a cockade, and that's there's just fancy the deal they put on most of the hats and stuff back in.
Okay.
Actually, Drood's Oak is the company I bought it from, and unfortunately they're out of business now. So they're
Uh-oh. That's not
but
good.
they made really nice stuff like this. They made the clothing and hats and everything like that. And
They probably made it too good. That's the problem. Then nobody
probably
rebuys
because
stuff.
I've had this probably a good 30 years. I've had this hat, and you can see it didn't show really any signs of wear or nothing now, so it's still good. So, of course, I mean, like in our rendezvous, I don't wear this so much in rendezvous. I adapt more closely to Scottish dress. So I try
Oh.
I wear a bonnet and stuff. So I got a knit bonnet.
Interesting. Okay.
And I wear a kilt sometimes in our camp. So
Uh-oh.
especially in the falls, a lot of times because we try to do the Highland games and stuff in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I have enough people show up to do them, I try to do a Highland game.
What are the Highland games?
You heard of people talk about doing tabor tosses and
Yes.
what they call a haggis throw, which is basically just a big sack filled with straw. And
Fun fact for you.
yeah,
So my husband and I own the brewery in town, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a Scottish ale, and guess what it's called?
oh really? A haggis? Or
Tossing the
something?
caber.
Oh, tossing the
Yeah.
caber? Okay. Oh, okay. I'd like to try that. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Fun fact. I digress.
Yeah.
But no, so that's so we got that from those games, yeah.
Okay. And of course, how a lot of people don't realize is when the British took over the Scots, okay, they took all the weapons and stuff away from them. And this was in one of the first times they took them over. They took the weapons from. And so they had no other way to train. And so that's how they come up with these games. They come up with these ways of training and stuff. So especially like the tabor.
Yeah.
If you had a little stream or a bank or something like that you need to cross, you'd throw out a log across there and then cross across it. And the guys would be over there working and stuff like that. So the ladies come home and throw the food over to them. So there's your haggis toss. And
I get it. So it's kind of like games out of like necessity of
Yeah.
things that you would be doing.
and the stone throws and stuff like that, they would, you've seen Braveheart or not, but
I haven't.
Yeah, it's not, of course, it's not totally historically correct,
Yeah.
but he is throwing the stones in there and the rocks and stuff, and so that was one of the things that got started from that too.
Cool.
And
So I have another fun fact for you. Are you ready?
yeah, what's that?
So you just answered like you just answered something in my mind that I've wondered for years and years and years. So, how are you into decorating? Do you like to decorate? You like to decorate your house? You like to paint?
Oh, as far as painting the inside up there, no. Well,
Okay.
usually,
Yeah, me either.
yeah.
But so Sherwin-Williams, you've heard of that, right?
Yeah.
They have a color that is the standard. If you go into Sherwin-Williams and you say, I want black paint. I want the standard of black paint.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they all have fancy names, right?
Yeah.
So you can get like bluish black and you can get gray black and you can get, all of these colors. But if you say, I just want like the blackest of the black, do you know what that color is at Sherwin-Williams? And you just answered my question.
I don't know.
I'm giving you a hint.
Higher than black or something like that. Oh, the tricorn black?
It's called tricorn black. And I never knew why it was called that. That's exactly why, though, because of your hat.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
See, I never knew. I always wondered why it was called tricorn black. So now you know if you ever need black paint from Sherwin-Williams,
Just call
tricorn
it,
black.
that's tricorn black.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be easy if you remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, now you learned something new, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I like about this hobby. You seem like you can learn something new every day.
Sure.
On it.
Absolutely.
In fact, the book I'm reading now is it's about what they call the itinerants of the 18th century.
Uh-huh.
And what that basically is like your artists, painters, musicians, different people. And when
Okay.
they first started to come over from Europe, how they went about trying to make a living in this country doing their trade. And so a lot of them, of course, they make a little bit of money off their music venues playing up there, but then a lot of times they would teach music, like a violinist would come in and
Totally
he would
makes
keep
sense.
picking students, and he would teach other violinists or
Yeah.
musicians or magicians too, magical acts. They've all taken and start teaching people different things or do the acts and one guy traveled around, and that I've read in this book. He traveled around with a talking pig. He'd actually taught this pig to talk and speak.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did. And it's supposed to be real.
Is this real? I was going to say, is this a story?
No, according to this book, it's supposed to be real. This pig, you say a certain number of words in English, and then he taught it to count too by his foot, tapping his foot and stuff on the ground so he could count. and he did this for a long time. He traveled around to several different places until he finally got to this one town. And this one town accused him of witchcraft.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, because they thought this had to be some kind of sorcery or something going on with this pig to be doing this. So they killed the pig and locked him up.
No.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So that's how. But until then, he had this talking pig he traveled around.
It's so tragic.
Yeah, and he made his money off that by doing shows and demonstrating this pig. So.
Okay, now I feel like I need to see if there's another talking pig out in the world. I mean, if he did it, somebody else could do it, I'm sure.
I mean, they are pretty intelligent, actually.
They're very smart.
Yeah, people don't realize it, but
Very smart.
Pigs are very smart.
Yes.
When I was growing up as a kid up there was a lady down the road from us, and she had one she'd made a pet out of. Mm-hmm. And it would come and, knock on the door up like that when it wanted out, and because it was house broken and everything, it'd go over and stand and grunt in front of the refrigerator when it was hungry. And
Yeah, they're not dumb.
different things like that, so. And it would lay right beside her when she's watching TV and stuff like that, and everything just like a dog or anything like that would. So
Isn't that funny?
yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to having a pig, would you?
yeah, and she had it clear up until it got too big for the house, and then she finally had to put it outside. But and I think it finally died of old age. That one did, because it was such a pet they could never do anything else with it. So so.
So I have another fun fact for you then, since we're talking about pigs.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been to the Caribbean?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So in, let's see, where are we? In St. Kitts. In St. Kitts, yes. there is a beach bar, and it's called the Reggae Beach Bar. And you can look this up. This is true. Adrian, you can look it up. Something happened where they were going to have like a luau or something there. Well, they had these pigs, and anyway, I don't know how exactly it happened, but this one pig got like escaped. And so then people just started hanging out with him at this beach bar. Well, then he just became a staple there, and his name was Wilbur. Mm-hmm. And I got to meet Wilbur. But he lived at this beach bar for like years and years, and he was massive, like bigger than this table, like huge. And he finally died of old age, but they just didn't have the heart to like, do him in because he was so friendly and everyone loved him and they enjoyed him so much. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you looking for Wilbur? Look at Reggae Beach Bar and like type in Wilbur and the Reggae Beach Bar in St. Kitts. But it's a true story. I got to meet him. I got my picture with him. But yeah, he's since passed away of old age, and they gave him a burial. They did not, have Wilbur for dinner or anything because they said that he deserved a proper burial. Yeah, there he is. And he was huge. I don't know. Is there a picture of him like laying like that first picture there where he's like under the sign? Yeah. Yeah, there he is. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a true story. Yeah, and I mean, he was ginormous and so fun and just like chill. And he just hung out there. Wouldn't that be like the best life for a pig? Oh, yeah. I can go swim in the ocean. The tourists are so stupid. They feed me all the time. Yeah. It'd be great.
I wouldn't mind that life.
I know, right? Yeah. We should all be Wilbur. All right. Well, Norm, give us the details of the indoor trade fair one more time because it's been so fun talking with you today.
Okay. Well, like I say, it's this weekend, the 17th and 18th. Mm-hmm. That's Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday we are there from 9 to 5. On Sunday, we are from 9 to 3, and admission is $5 for 12 and over. And like I say, Catter's Cave will have food there too, so you can also come and buy food and stuff. And like I say, there'll be vendors there from $18.90 back. So we'll see you there this weekend.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. Something for everybody. Please bring the kids. And Cantor's Cave is absolutely gorgeous no matter what time of the year that you're there. So that's worth a look around too.
I mean, I'm hoping the weather holds off this time for a change, but we'll be there.
We'll see.
Snow or not, we'll be there.
That's exactly right. They're always there. You guys have been there through some major snowstorms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like big ones. I remember. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for hanging with us today. Okay. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right. Well, I tell you what, we have a couple of messages, and then we'll be back with Pete Wilson and the news.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Pete Wilson, who does not have on his tricorn hat today.
No, I do not. I'd like to have one of those.
Isn't that fun?
Is it Tam O'Shanter? Am I thinking the right word? Mr. Who was the fellow that always did this before? Norm.
Larry Zorns.
Larry Zorns, right. Larry's still around. Larry is still around doing a lot of different things, but he's not doing this anymore. He took that responsibility on for a long time and did a great job, as Norm is doing now. But Larry gave me a tam o' shanter one year.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I now if I'm wrong on that, all you people jump out on me on TV land. But
Yeah,
it's
you
kind of like
set
a
'em straight.
little beret you put on your
Yeah.
head and like that. Yeah, no, it's really cool. I
Awesome.
got it in the closet. I bring it out every now and then when I feel happy.
When you're feeling sassy.
Yeah, hey, listen, what the hell, So.
I love it.
Exactly. But anyway, I want to go over some news today. Okay, we don't have any pictures yet, but we do want to tell you, because it's very important who makes decisions to lead our governments, right? School boards and governments and all like
Absolutely.
that. You people need to tune in, know what's going on. You don't have to go to the meetings, read the paper, because we cover all those meetings.
That's
You're not going
exactly
to get
right.
that kind of thing on Facebook, if you don't mind me saying that, all right?
That's true.
Okay. All right. Last night, the Oak Hill Union Local Board of Education met. Transition for them, too. This was the last of our school boards, to have that first meeting of the year. And there had to be a new president because Paula Stewart is no longer a board member, and she had been the president for quite some time. Mike French, who has been a board member for Oak Hill for 20-plus years. I'm not exactly sure how long, but I know it's 20-plus. He was elected as the new president. Tyler Evans, who was elected not in this last election, but the one before, has been named the vice president. And the members of the Oak Hill Union Local Board of Education are the same, except for the fact that Scott Gilland is the new member. He was elected in the last November election, and he does replace Paula Stewart. The other members are Tim Howard and Joe Elsess.
Okay.
All right. Oak Hill, also last night, the Oak Hill Village Council had its first meeting. They happened to both meet on the same night. And for the Oak Hill Village Council, they had 4 members who were sworn in by Oak Hill Mayor Paul McNeil. They were Terry McCain and Brian Moore, and they are incumbents. So very well known in Oak Hill, and Brian especially does a lot civically there in Oak Hill. And the 2 new members that were elected in the last November election are Allison Bryant and Tara Cooper. Stephen Campbell, who had been on council, was elected by his peers to continue as council president. That is not an elected position. After council convenes for the first time in the year, they have an election among themselves and pick a council president, and it is Stephen Campbell. So we'll be reporting those things as well as what is happening at the meetings. Hey, there is a really big thing that is happening in Wellston that they are very excited about, and that is the Gus Macker tournament.
That's pretty cool.
There it is. That Gus Macker. Now, this is kind of like a sports groupie type thing. This is a big deal to the basketball folks, and this is all ages can come out. They have age categories, I think, for Gus Macker. But if you've ever been to a Gus Macker tournament, one of the ones that they have often, I don't know that it's annual, is over at Chillicothe. And let me tell you, first of all, it's good for the participants. They get to do, it's a 3-on-3 thing. It's a big deal. But what it is, it's also considered an economic development thing because lots of people come to root on those people. They usually do it in a venue downtown. That's common, rather than like in a school gymnasium or something. It's usually an outdoor thing. Maybe it's always an outdoor thing. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But in Wellston, it's going to be downtown. And
Really?
So yes, they are excited about it for the sport thing, but probably more excited about to bring people to Wellston. And they knew that they were going to be able, you have to bid on it. They knew, when I say bid, I'm not sure how much it costs. They have responsibilities. I don't think they have to necessarily pay a fee, but they have to take on a group in wherever they have it, whether it's a city or a group. They have to take on responsibilities, to help host the tournament. But it's going to be, they did have determined the dates. It's going to be August 8th and 9th in downtown Wellston. And there'll be lots of preparations involved. But Wellston, it's Saturday, August 8th and Sunday, August 9th. The city of Wellston will be responsible for the annual fees required under the agreement, as well as funds for service and promotion. So they'll have to spend some money to have the tournament. But the Gus Macker people actually run the tournament.
Where's it going to be?
It's going to be in downtown Wellston. I'm not sure.
How are they going to do that?
In the historic district. Well, I'm guessing Now, I haven't talked to Mayor Anthony Brenner, and maybe they don't know all the details because this hasn't been too long since this
It's
has
not like
been.
there's a basketball court on Ohio Avenue.
I think it's like a festival. They'll close off some streets.
Okay.
Maybe one block. I don't know. Maybe two
How
blocks.
cool.
Yeah, that's what it'll do. It'll be like a street festival. Only it's 3-on-3 basketball.
Kind of like what they do in Chillicothe with the volleyball.
Right,
thing.
and here's what Mayor Anthony Brenner said. He would really push this thing.
This is
He
exciting.
said that the city of Wellston desires to promote community engagement, recreation, and economic activity by hosting the tournament. City officials feel that 120 to 125 teams, because this is a thing. If you're in Gus Macker, you look, where can you go to be in the next Gus Macker tournament?
Right.
He said that this could result in 5,000 to 6,000 people visiting the city over the course of those 2 days. And you know what? They're going to spend some money.
Absolutely.
They're going to come and eat lunch, eat dinner. They're going to stay at local hotels.
They're going to spend money all
They're gonna
around our county.
They're going to put gas in their tanks and all those sort of things. That's how you have to think sometimes on economic development. You just don't think about factories and all. You think about things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already had that story in the paper, but we will certainly be following up on that at the council meetings and planning committee meetings and all like that, because I'd never remember a Gus Macker tournament happening in Jackson County. If it did, that happened when I was away and they didn't promote it, I didn't see it. So I don't think so.
Yeah.
But they've had them in the area. I know at Chillicothe, they've been very popular. So now there's going to be one in
huge.
Wellston. Staying on the Wellston News Beat, I mentioned this yesterday when we talked about the reorganization of council and the start of the new year. The city of Wellston wants to get the word out that they need a fourth ward councilman.
Yep.
And so this information is posted, I'm sure, on the city website. I know it's on their Facebook. We've had it in the paper. We'll continue to publicize it. But there is nobody, there's 7 councilmen and a council president, but there is nobody for the fourth ward because nobody ran in the last election in November. So if you are interested in being a member of Wellston City Council, being the fourth ward councilman, you have to live in the fourth ward. You can go on the city Facebook and see a map. They will have a map if you're unaware. People that vote probably know that they're in the fourth ward, or maybe they don't even notice that. But this is only fourth ward. You have to live in the city, and you have to live in the fourth ward on top of that, and you have to be, of course, at least 18 years old.
Yep.
I don't think you have to be a registered voter even, but you do have to have the residency and the age. But anyway, if you're interested, you can submit a letter of interest to the council clerk no later than Tuesday, February 3rd. So you got a little bit of time there. You would certainly help your candidacy if you provide some information about yourself, your qualifications, your interests, that sort of thing. And you would also want to appear at the February 5 Wellston City Council meeting, and then that is where they will vote on the candidate or candidates.
Okay.
So that's how that works. You can submit your letter. You can probably bring it to the city hall, but you can also email it to Mindy Eisnagel, who is the administrative assistant there at Wellston. If you go to the website or Facebook, you'll see this post and see the email, and you can do that. Letters of interest can also be accepted at the mayor's office during regular business hours. They want to make it as easy as possible if you are interested. Okay, the city of Jackson is really interested in following up on some education about garbage. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but it's important.
Sure.
All residents and businesses, have to have garbage services. Well, Adrian, you can cue up that picture. We have 2 things, actually. Here's one thing. This is I know it's hard to see there on this picture, but that is the writing that is on one of the side of the lids of the new 95-gallon garbage cans. They're on the smaller ones too, I'm sure, but this is one from a 95-gallon can. What it is, you see those arrows there? Mm-hmm. That is how you're supposed to face the garbage can to the street or to the curb where the garbage truck comes to pick it up.
Gotcha.
The reason this is important now, they have been using a truck called a tipper truck. And on the tipper truck, this is the new garbage. This is the new garbage truck. We'll move ahead to why this is new. You can see it in action here. This is a sidearm garbage truck that is new for the city.
Sure.
You can see they have a hydraulic arm that comes out and picks up your garbage can and dumps it into the packer, all right? That means that the guys in the truck, or the guy in the truck, because eventually they'll only need one person. They're doing training now, that's why there's two. They don't have to get out and handle the can or lift the can. So this is more efficient. They can do it with one person in the truck. But one of the main reasons they did it is not to have a fancy truck or to make it easier necessarily on the employees. It's because the garbage cans are heavy.
Yes, they are.
And there have been injuries that have occurred to the garbage personnel when they're handling these cans. You know, if you lift these cans for all day long, everywhere you go, they've had a lot of workers' comp claims, come through that. So this is also to protect the employees and protect the city. Secondly, Wellston did the same thing about a year ago, and Jackson has followed with this sidearm garbage truck. It's now in service. This is the main garbage truck. If you haven't seen it, you will. But this is important. It won't work, obviously, if you have the garbage can too far away from the street. Because they don't want to take the truck into the yard or whatever. Now they'll probably give you some time to get used to it or whatever. But it's two things. Not only put the can close to the street, but also face it the right direction, because the lid has to open from the right
that makes
direction.
sense.
It doesn't open both directions. It just opens one. And there's writing and arrows to show you to face it towards the street. The lid where the arrows are towards the street, not the other way to the street, or it won't work. It won't work as well. So that is now in effect. They kind of quietly started that, and there's an adjustment period now, but everybody who has the new city garbage cans that are actually owned by the city, but rented to you for no charge unless you have more than one can. That's now in effect. So that is a big deal. Also, their deer season is still going on, but only archery. All the gun seasons are over. They had a thing called a muzzle loading hunt that went for about 4 days the first week of January. That is over now. And so the only way that you can hunt deer is with archery equipment, and that isn't until only February 1st, so you're running out of time for that. But what I can say is the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Ohio Division of Wildlife, they always issue news releases about what they call the deer harvest.
Yes.
And like you're picking potatoes, I guess that's nicer than saying deer kill.
Yeah.
But anyway,
or murder or whatever.
Slaughter. Remember, for all you folks out there, this is supposed to be a biological necessity. It's good for the deer herd too, because they have no natural predators except man now.
Except for cars.
And cars, right? Except cars. But anyway, the trends are that the deer harvests have been down just a little bit statewide and a little bit locally, and then that is counter to the trend that happened, the last several decades. And that's because there is not as many hunters out there as there used to be throughout the state, because, like, for instance, our numbers have been going down for the last 10 years because hunters don't have to go all the way from Dayton to Columbus to find deer. They can go in the next county now.
They're everywhere.
They used to come here, you looked at the grocery store and they had all their provisions there, as well as, a couple cases of beer. It always makes you feel real good about their hunt, the next day. But anyway.
Right.
Or maybe they didn't drink until they were all done.
Right.
Right. But I digress. But anyway, the hunting numbers in Jackson and Benton counties are down just a little bit. But here's the other trend. More hunters are using archery equipment than guns than in the past. It used to be just a small portion, a small fraction of the hunters used archery equipment, and now the archery numbers are almost as high as the gun numbers. And
it's pretty
your
cool.
Success rate is not quite as high, but it's a little more sporting.
Yeah, it's more challenging.
Might have to wait a little bit more longer, but anyway. So we want to now congratulate the spelling bee winners for the Jackson City School District. They were congratulated.
Were you ever one of those?
I won in 4th grade one time, but that's as good as it got.
Yeah.
That's as good as it got. There was a girl that was much better than I am, but she couldn't spell exact. I got real lucky. She spelled it E-X-E-C-T.
Do you know what I missed in the spelling bee? I will never forget it as long as I live. Knowledge. I forgot the D in it.
The D. Okay. All right. Well, that's a nine 9-letter word. That's not bad. I don't know what grade you were in there, but
I think it was 5th or 6th
But
grade.
anyway, we want to show you the spelling bee winners. They were, as I say, honored at the last school board meeting. These kids, as young as 5th grade, standing up in front of everybody trying to remember those big words.
It's hard.
Got to give them credit. But from the left, these were the spelling bee winners, as you're looking at the picture. Kylie Miller, or rather Pat McDonald is on the end, school board member. Then you have Kylie Miller, 5th grade. Cooper Harris, 4th place. Cole Miranda, 3rd place. Arizona McComas, 2nd place. And your winner is Gavin Brandow.
Look how happy he is.
He is very
So
happy. Jackson School Board Vice President Kim White and Jackson School Board Member Christopher Smalley there on the end. And they were honored, as I said, during the last school board meeting. And let me see if I can see what one of the words might have been that was a win here. One of the last words that was missed was scurrying by Arizona McComas.
It was what?
Scurrying. Scurrying.
Yeah.
That was the word that tripped her up. And I don't know what Gavin Brandow, it's not in this story, had to spell to win it, but he had to spell that word and one other.
Okay.
That's always what you do. That second word they make you spell, I never could understand that. But what if that person misses that? And then
Then
I
what?
think they go back in the hopper again,
Oh,
those
my
two.
gosh.
But anyway, congratulations to the spelling bee winners.
That's exciting.
All right, just one other thing. The Vinton Soil and Water Conservation District Office, which they're doing a little bit more activity. They have an extra employee. They hired an extra employee. I think it's been more than a year now. But they want to be more public with what they do. They want to invite people to their meetings, and they let us know here at Total Media to publicize when their meetings are. They're going to be once a month, and they're always going to be, unless they change it or they have an extra meeting. It's going to be 4 p.m. Wednesday, the second Wednesday of every month, and that is today. That would be today at the district Soil and Water Conservation District Office, which is at 31935 State Route 93 MacArthur, and I think that's the address of the Vinton County Community Building. So they must have an office there.
Okay.
And they want the public to know that they're meeting, and they want to invite you to their meetings if you have any interest at all. So there you go.
There you go.
All right, we will come back tomorrow and tell you more.
Sounds good. Because you have a stack. I know. You always do.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Pete. And, tell us about the game last night.
Oh, yes, I need to tell you about that. The Jackson Ironmen played the Wheelersburg Pirates. The Pirates were undefeated. Jackson had lost only once. Something had to give.
Yep.
Well, Jackson got a lead early. Wheelersburg kept coming back, made it very close, got to within 3 points with 2 minutes to go. But in the end, Jackson won by 10 points, 67 to 57. A very impressive victory. They're now 10-1.
What a building full of talented athletes, though. You know,
I tell you what,
all around.
You respect both teams. Both teams played very hard. You understand why between them they only have one loss and 16 victories between them. And this was Tuesday now, but it was nearly a full house at Jackson High School, and they have a big gym, as
that
you know.
doesn't surprise me. Yes, it's a big gym.
So, I mean, you need to get out and see the Ironmen because it is a great atmosphere, as well as, seeing some very good basketball. And they've got a very tough game this Friday against Chillicothe, who is one of the top teams in the Frontier Athletic Conference. And Chillicothe is in 3rd place. Jackson is in 2nd place. And if Chillicothe loses, they have no chance for a championship. So they're going to go all out.
Oh, heck yeah, they will.
Right.
Always some kind of rivalry going on.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a great report, Pete.
And our sports editor, Todd Compton, Red Thompson Jr., helps with sports. Brian Walters does some writing for us. J.J. Milliken, who has a very important job with the Pickaway Ross ESC or vocational school over there. I wish I knew which one because I just said it. But anyway, he is helping us with the Jackson basketball write-up. So we're glad to have him on board. It allows us to be able to do more with our sports.
Good.
So we always cover all the basketball games in the Telegram and online as well.
Very good. All right. Well, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, Pete.
We'll do it.
All right. And we will be right back here tomorrow on your Thursday. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.